I love this platform. I love the products we have for it. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Spence here with Core 4x4, and we still have the 08 Ram 3500 in the studio, and it'll be here for a couple of weeks because if you haven't tuned in, we are doing a little bit of a series. Now, if you haven't seen last week's video, we did do our universal trailing arm kit on this to really help with that axle wrap and wheel hop, especially when towing. So check that out if you're interested in those. This week, we will be working on the front end. We're going to be doing our heavy-duty adjustable track bar and also introducing a new product, our heavy-duty sway bar end links. Now, this truck does have a 5.5-inch rough country lift, and we are just going through top to bottom, upgrading things one at a time to really help get it driving better. Let's get over to the table. We'll talk about the end links and the track bar. Okay, so like I said, today we are doing the adjustable front track bar and the new sway bar end links for the front. And we've done all our parts, just like the rear trailing arms, in this beautiful Illusion Cherry from Prismatic Powders. Now we're gonna start with the adjustable heavy-duty track bar. Now we make these for all 3rd, 4th, and 5th gen models on all the Dodge Ram 2500 and 3500s. So I love this track bar because we make it out of 1.5-inch cold rolled steel. It is very heavy duty. We also incorporate the turnbuckle adjustment style with the clamps and the jam nuts to make it easy to adjust while it's installed on the truck, and then able to clamp everything down so it never moves on you. You never have to worry about it again. Now this part of the install is much easier to do on the ground with the truck under its own weight. So we're gonna start there, we'll get the track bar on, and then we'll move to the end links. Now these sway bar end links were also coming out for all the same generations and models for the Dodge and Ram. Now this is a great option to really upgrade your sway bar situation on your truck. If you're having a lot of body roll, or if your old end links are worn out, or if you're lifted and you need to get some longer end links, we will also have these available in our Town and Trail series. Now the only difference between those is the Town is going to have the polyurethane bushing at both ends. Great for daily driving, towing, around town use. The Trail, you step up a little bit in flexibility. You get the Johnny joint at one end and then the bushing at the other end. This is great for light off-roading. Now, if you just want to go all out, we do offer the Tow series, which is the Johnny joint at both ends. Incredible flexibility, very easy to maintain. Now, although we are going to be doing this install in the air just to show how everything goes together, this is a very easy install to do at home, on the ground, in your driveway. You'll just unbolt your factory sway bar end links or whatever you have on there and bolt these in. So let's get the track bar on and then get these end links in. Okay, so now that we're under here, for those of you that don't know, your track bar is your main component on your suspension on these trucks that holds your axle centered left to right. Now, it is literally the only thing beside your steering kind of holds some weight, but literally the only thing that holds your whole body and axle in alignment left to right under the vehicle. Now, this rough country kit came with a drop bracket to account for the change in length that would have been needed for a 5.5-inch lift. We are going to leave that bracket on here because it does help with geometry, and I'm guessing this is also an aftermarket pitman arm, which brings the drag link down to match the drop in the track bar so you don't have any bumps here. So we're going to leave all that. We'll leave the bracket on. It does help with, like I said, geometry and drivability, but you can install our track bar all the way up to 6+ inches of lift to your factory mounts if you don't have a pitman arm drop and a track bar relocation bracket. So like I said, this is a pretty easy install on the ground. We are going to turn the steering wheel all the way passenger so we can get at the axle side bolt here, and then we're just taking off these 2 bolts, matching the length because this is aligned and the truck was driving great, and then we're going to bolt our new track bar in, and then we'll torque everything down. So let's start taking things off. Before we go back over to the truck, I did want to mention your clamp orientation is important on this. This turnbuckle has slits in it It's important that your clamps line up over those slits so everything can clamp down correctly when we tighten this down on the truck. So lining up clamps, and then the jam nuts are just a secondary locking mechanism, like I said, so you never have to worry about this once you get it all set. These are 1 5/8" across the flats, so if you want to get a crow's foot or big old wrench to tighten those down. But the torque value on the jam nuts is 250 foot-pounds. You really can't go too tight on these, so don't be afraid to get these really tight after everything is set. But the order of operations is going to be, we'll bolt the ends in, we'll tighten the clamps down. Now we'll go to 65, 70 foot-pounds on those, and then we'll do the jam nuts last. So yeah, let's get it on the truck. All right, always put a little grease on your bushing before install. Makes install a little easier. It eliminates that period that takes to work grease all the way out to the wear surfaces, and it just makes everything go smoother. So always just take the time, put a little grease on your bushing before you slap these in. You can grease them after. You can get it at the back there. Okay, so I just found out while I was under here putting this track bar in that this truck has to be an 07.5 model year. And anything before 07, 2002 to 07 will have a 14 mil bolt on both ends of your track bar. Now 07.5 was a split year in the manufacturing, because 08 and up to the 4th and 5th gens have a 16 millimeter bolt or a 5/8 bolt at both ends of your track bar. Now the 07.5, I don't know what they were doing, because your axle side will be the 5/8 or the 16 mil bolt, but your frame side is going to be the 14 mil or 9/16. So what we're going to do, just because I want to run the same bolt on either side, and what I think all 07.5 owners should do, is just drill out your frame side to go with the bigger bolt. So we're going to run a drill bit through this bracket to be able to run a new 5/8 bolt on the frame side. So again, we're putting a little grease on this before we slap it in. Anytime you take your track bar off, your axle, your body, it's all going to shift a little bit. So this is why this install is so much easier on the ground. Is this trick I've shown in other videos. See, we're off about half a bolt hole. And instead of getting ratchet straps, or instead of having your buddy push on the side of the truck to try to get it over, it's just a big pain in the butt. All you have to do is have someone go turn the steering wheel. And what that'll do, it'll use your drag link and the leverage that your truck has sitting on the ground to shift the body exactly where it needs to be. This is holding the steering wheel right now. Go a little more. Now hold it. There you go. Okay, so our clamps are lined up with our gaps over our slits. Like I said, we're going to go about 65, 70 foot-pounds on these. And then the last thing we have to do is tighten these jam nuts down, and then this sucker will never move on you. Squeezed up, let's get her in the air. Alright, so let's tighten these up. Okay, so that wraps it up for our install today of the sway bar end links and the front track bar on this 08 Ram 3500. Couple quick notes, the end links are pretty straightforward, just unbolt and bolt in. The track bar, we did find out this was manufactured as an 07.5, so it had that larger bolt on the axle side and the smaller bolt on the frame side. So we just did a quick mod on that in order to run the bigger bolt on both sides. I would recommend that for anyone that has those 07.5 models with the weird bolt size. You'll just order for an 08 and above, and it'll come with the appropriate bolt holes in the track bar for that. Other than that, I'm super stoked for our next two videos. Now, for next week, we will be doing a heavy-duty steering kit if everything comes together right. We're in the final stages of having that kit ready, so hopefully we'll have it in time for next week's video, and we'll be putting that on. And our last video is going to be a bit of a surprise, so stay tuned for that one. And as always, I wanted to say thank you guys for tuning in and watching us. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on all our stuff. It really helps us out, and we'll catch you next week in the next one.